Good morning, my dear students. A warm welcome for today's business regulations class. In today's class, we will be discussing with the third chapter, that is with the Competition Act. In the previous class, I gave you all the information regarding the introduction part of the third chapter, that is with the Competition and Consumer Law. So first, in the third unit, we have two concepts, that is Competition Act and Consumer Act. So when it comes to the Competition Act, we will be discussing in detail why there was a need for the Competition Act and what are the preamble, what exactly the Act preamble says, and we will be seeing the scope, the nature, and the preamble all in details, and what are the components of the Competition Act. All these things we will be discussing in detail. Now let us get into the concept. So here, as I told, Competition Act 2002. So in the previous class, I told you all very clearly to where and all it is applicable. So when you talk about the Competition Act, very clearly the word or the act name only says that it is related to the competition, and especially in order to have a harmonization in the competition field, or it can be in the trading activity. Because when you talk about the trading or the competition, you can see any number of producers or sellers will be existing in the market day by day. So everyone should have a healthy competition. So there should not be any monopolistic act, or there should not be any dominance act. So everyone should be getting the opportunity to enjoy the profits in the market. So that is the main reasons for the introduction of this Competition Act. And in the last class, clear what are the unethical things or the illegal activities which was taking place in the market. Like I was talking about the antitrust law. That is, it is related to the bid rigging irbodu, predatory pricing irbodu, price fixing irbodu, so tying irbodu, vendor lock irbodu. For all these things, so now ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ವಿ like antitrust law was taking place in the market, like ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಂಗೆ monopoly lead ಮಾಡೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, abundance agli, price fixing, bid rigging, all these things was taking place. Then the government took an initiative that there is a need for the law, and then MRTP Act came into an existence. And as I told you all the timeline, the same MRTP Act, how it came into modified into Competition Act ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So let us get into in detail what exactly and how it is ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. See, the Competition Act 2002, as I told you all, even though it is 2002, and the first bill was introduced in 2001, and it was been passed in 2002 on 2003 13 Jan. See, always when the bill will be passed, no, that year only will be considered as the final implementation of the act. The president. So here in 2002, the bill was passed. So when which year the bill will be passed, that year will be considered as the implementation of the act. And then later on, see, introduce ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇರೆ, workout ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇರೆ, but ಯಾವ year ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ bill pass ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ parliament ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆ year act ಗೆ ನಾವು consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. And on 13th Jan 2003, the President of India gave this assent and approval. So I think all these things we discussed in the previous class, right? See, it replaces the monopolies and restrictive trade practices. As I told you all, when people started that liberalization introduced, I mean, when they wanted to enter into the global market, this MRTP Act provisions was not up to the mark in order to have a control or in order to enter the global market. Then the government decided, yes, there was a need for some amendments to be done for the MRTP Act. So, alli amendments changes ella ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಸ act called as Competition Act was being introduced. So here, when we talk about the preamble, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ the preamble of the act, what exactly it says ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So it says to prevent the practices having adverse effect on competition. Competition ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ healthy ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, so that we cannot go for restricting the competitors entering into the market. So we should go for preventing the, so restricting ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ when the monopoly is playing a vital role in the market. So we make sure there should not be any monopoly or there should not be any dominance in the market. And what are the other main objective or the preamble? When you check preamble is nothing but the objectives of the act and theory. So this you can consider as the objectives. See, to promote and sustain competition in the market, so that you can even see always when there are more competition, you can see the market will go on well. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಷ್ಟು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೇ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಒಂಥರ ಏನು ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡೋದನ್ನೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. Always there will be innovative things happening in the market. That is possible only when there is a competition. And another objective is to protect the interest of the consumer. So when you talk about the market competition, here we don't not only think only about the sellers or the producers, we even give priority for the consumers, because we both are like interdependent. The consumers and the manufacturers or the producers are interdependent in nature. Without the consumers, manufacturers will not have any work. Without the manufacturers, the consumers will not have any work. So they both are interdependent on each other. So now ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ we have to give importance for the consumer also. We have to make sure what is their requirements. We satisfy them by fulfilling all their requirements. And to ensure freedom of trade carried on by other participants in the market. That is, we have to give the freedom for the other people to enter into the market, right? So these are the preambles or the objectives of the Competition Act. Now let us see the next. We'll be discussing with the nature and scope of Competition Act 2002. When it comes with the nature, as I was telling you, see, these are the features which has been added or which has been modified to Competition Act 2002. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ need ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ features like nature is nothing but the features. The Industries Act 1951, that is the Development and Regulation Act 1951, the same thing was been taken and it's been modified over here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ modify ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ. ಏನ್ modify ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, because you can see the changes which is happening in the environment. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it cannot remain same for the long period of time. So what they did is, in this particular act only, they started modifying the existing act. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇರೋಂತ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಈ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್. ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟುಕ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ to give more priority or importance for the protection of the environment. Because aವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, because in the environment they started checking out, they can see the there was more pollution in the environment in all the angle of types of pollution it can. When they noticed that when there was more pollution in the environment, then they started, yes, some initiatives has to be taken in order to control that particular pollution. Because if you don't control, we cannot go for protecting our environment. In that way, they started doing some modification for the Environment Act. And monuments and natural heritage protection. So when I check out with the monuments and national heritage protection, because at that time you could have already experienced people like started giving more importance for the tourism sector. So tourism sector alli enaytu, nama cultural, nama practice, nama heritage, people started coming to visit different historical places. Then the government took an initiative, yes, all these monuments, all these things, it has to be safeguarded so that we give a very good image it can be, or we can showcase our particular heritage or the culture practices and all. So in this was been modified. And next, when it comes with the next act, that is Industrial Dispute Act 1947, here also some modifications was being done. What are the modifications was being done? It's like easy exit for the ill and inefficient units. Ili easy exit yavyadike ill managed and inefficient units. This is and, okay, this is and. So ill managed and inefficient units ante, the anything which is like sick industries ಯಾವಾಗ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮರ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಕ್ವಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಡೆಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. That is how inefficient the units has to be treated. What are the measures to be taken? ಈ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ, they started doing with the mergers acquisition with the like weaker section with the superior companies. They started going for the mergers there. And next, if you check out the BIFR Act, the Board for Industrial Finance and Reconstructing Act 1985. Here they started for special provision for the sick units. So sick units andre ಏನು ಆ sick units ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ you can go for closing it out. See, instead of just withdrawing the sick unit or closing down the sick unit, you can go for merging. ಅವಾಗಲೇ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಸಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಸ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ special provisions for the sick units. And next, they started giving more for the World Trade Organizations. They started giving authority and responsibility for these organizations to examine and adjudicate anti-competitive practices. The World Trade Organization started taking initiatives for the anti-competitive practices. The people they started giving guidelines how exactly the competition should take place, what are the healthy competition practices, and they also started giving more importance for the foreign investment and intellectual properties, IP. In detail, we will be studying again here in future classes. And for the subsidies. So how to, when the subsidies, if it is being given, how you can encourage people into the industrial sector. All this provision was being added or be amended. And at last, MRTP Act, here a separate commission was being done in order to do the amendments for the competition and the consumer law. So here the government took an initiative because the existing provisions or the preamble was not sufficient, which was not giving a clear picture for the people to enter into the global market. So the government took an initiative, they framed a separate commission and they told what are the requirements has to be done, please do modify, and then a new law was being introduced. So these are the features of the Competition Act. And next. Now next we will be checking out with the scope of Competition Act. See here when they concept will be write a note on Competition Act 2002. At that time you have to give the introduction part, when the bill was being passed, the introduction part, when it was been assent, when it was being given, features, the scope and the components, all those things you need to explain in detail. Now when you go for checking out with the scope of Competition Act, see here these are the following things that is related to the application. So when you talk about the application, it extends to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Yesterday I told you all very clearly. That is, when it comes to the Jammu and Kashmir, we discussed that after the liberalization, like 2017 ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, 2017 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈಗ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 2002, ರೈಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಆ 2002 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. 17 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಆ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಜಮ್ಮು ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್. I want you all to be clear with this statement. Okay, after 17 whatever the amendments took place, that will be applicable for Jammu and Kashmir, but 2002 what exactly the preamble or the provision was, that will not be applicable to the Jammu and Kashmir, right? And here it has, the act has 66 sections. Each section will be in this particular act, if you see, they have given a different definitions. Competition means what, competition agreements, how it has to be, Commission of India, what it has to be done, and Competition Appellate Tribunal, what it, all this definitions or the statement how it has to act, all this is been given in the various 66 sections. And here it is clear, it covers the definitions and the components, and it also covers the selection of members, resignation, removal and suspension. ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಹೇಗೆ ಚೇರ್ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಯಾರಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರ ರೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಪಾಲೆಟ್ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅಪೀಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಇವಾಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಟಿ ನೀವು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಚೇರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಚೇರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಚೇರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಅವ್ರ ರೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್, ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ಇಫ್ ಎನಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಮೆಂಬರ್ of a tribunal or a committee, if they involve in any unethical practices, those things, how they go for removing them, how they go for suspending them, all these things has been covered in this particular act. All in this aspect in detail we will be discussing in future classes. And it also covers the financial and administrative powers, duties and functions. Any acts, it can be, or it can be provision, how exactly it has to work, how the powers, to whom the powers will be given, all those things we will be discussing. All these things is covered in Competition Act. In detail we will be discussing in future classes. And it also covers the duty of director, general investigation, contravention, offenses and penalty. If any contravention takes place, if any offenses takes place, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಆ ಅಫೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಪೆನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಲೈಕ್ ಜೈಲ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು, ಪೆನಾಲಿಟಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್. So all these things has been mentioned in the Competition Act. So now next we check out with the components of Competition Act 2002. See, ಆ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆ ಮೇನ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಆ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ the components. That is, we say, even you can use the word features or you can use the word components. Okay, so our components ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಮೇನ್ ಆ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ 4 ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೋರ್ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಅದು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು? See here, to prohibit anti-competition agreement. Healthy competition ಇಲ್ದಿರಾ ಅದು ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಹಿಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು the main feature. And next is to prohibit abuse of dominance. As I told, dominance should not be there in the market. That is one feature. And next is to regulate combinations. ಅದು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಸಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್, ಒಂದು ಮರ್ಜರ್ ಅಕ್ವಿಸಿಷನ್ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. And next, when you check out, the other feature here is with the competition advocacy. That is, here they go for adjudicating that the culture of the competition. Competition andre hege irbeku adinu government alli decide madutte. So these are the 4 features which has been mentioned or taken initiative in the Competition Act. Now in detail, let us see what this each feature says. So when you check with the first one, this is anti-competitive agreement. So here what anti-competitive agreement says, no enterprise or person shall enter into any agreement with reference to production, supply, distribution, storage, acquisition or control of food or provision of services which causes or is likely to cause an appreciable adverse effect on competition within India. See, very clearly it has been given. ಯಾರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್, ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ಲೇಬಾರ್ದು. That is what the act says. That is what the feature says. If you are entering into an agreement, ನೀವು ಯಾರೇ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಜೊತೆಗಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ನೀವು ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡಿಬಾರ್ದು. Those type of agreements should not be signed. That is what we say, right? So here, which causes or is likely to cause an appreciable adverse effect on competition. ಆ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಟಿ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, there are 2 things happening in the anti competitive agreement. That is, one with your horizontal agreement, the another one with vertical agreement. Horizontal agreement is nothing but between the cartel. So here it is nothing but between the cartel, CARTEL. See, cartel is nothing but between the producers, between the middlemen anta itಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. That is horizontal. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಚೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್, ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಟೇಲರ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಹಾರಿಸಾಂಟಲ್ ವೇ. Getting my point? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ between these people, between middlemen, if any agreement is been signed, then we call it as the horizontal agreement. Getting my point? A cartel is nothing but it's a member of the all the middlemen involved into it. Okay, so here if any agreement if takes place between the people whom, between the middlemen, between the producers, between the distributor, that type of agreement we call it as the horizontal agreement. When a cartel and one word held, horizontal agreement is the agreement which takes in the cartel. It includes like a cartel and which is inclusion of association of producers, suppliers, distributors, traders, anything for them, right? All the people. ಇವ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ದೋಸ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ಡ್. And any agreement between the cartel, we call them as the horizontal agreement. And vertical agreement andre, you can check out here. Vertical agreement is between the firms. ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಜೊತೆ ಟೈ ಅಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ, ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು. ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಎನಿ ಟು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ signing an agreement. And if that agreement is giving an impact, a negative impact, then we say that type of an agreement as the anti-competitive agreement. And those agreements should not be entertained. Those agreements should not be signed. So it can be horizontal agreement or vertical agreement, any agreement which gives the negative impact, that has to be avoided in the market. That is what the first feature, anti-competitive agreement, says. Now let us check into the next feature. The next feature is all about the abuse of dominance. That is, one person will be dominating the other. ನಾನೇ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಡರು, ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ನೀವು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ತರಬಾರ್ದು. That is what it says. This particular feature is very abuse of dominance, nothing but they wanted to eliminate the domination in the market. A domination ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಫೀಚರ್ ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್. See here, dominant position means position of strength which is enjoyed by an enterprise in the relevant market, which enables it to operate independently of the competitive forces prevailing in the market, and it affects its competitors, consumer and relevant market in its favor. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಡಾಮಿನೆನ್ಸಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ನಾನೇ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, ಅನ್ಫೇರ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಡಿ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದು 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ 30 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೀವು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್. ನಾನು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡಾಮಿನೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳೋ ಅಂತದ್ದು, 10 rupees ಆದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ fixing at 30 rupees, that 20 rupees you have to give to me. So all these things, when dominance takes place, automatically it leads to untrade practices. So the act clearly says that this dominance should not be there. There should be an elimination of dominance in the market, so which protects the position of all the competitors and the consumers in the market. And the next feature is, so the next feature is all about the Competition Act on Combinations Regulations. Ide nan helidu, il combination regulations and barbekare the CCI comes into an existence. CCI is nothing but Competition Commission of India. This Competition Commission, the main intention in order to form this particular CCI, that is Competition Commission of India, is make sure there should be a healthy competition in the market. And illi enagutte nodi, combination in terms of meaning given to the act includes mergers, amalgamations and acquisition. That is how a merger should take place, how a healthy merger should take place. Anyone by domination, you cannot go for amalgamating or getting merged. It was happening in the market. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಂದೇನು ನಡೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೀನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡು, all this domination was taking place. But now that was only we say, if they go for getting merged with the SIC units also, they make sure some benefits should be given for other person ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So how this mergers, amalgamation and acquisition should take place. See here it has been given. In order to establish whether the higher concentration is in the market resulting from the merger will increase the possibilities of coercive or unilateral harmful behavior, it must first be established as to what the relevant market is all about. So when it clearly says how the operational activity of combination, acquisition and merger should take place here. And next feature is, and the next feature is competition advocacy. Here very clearly it gives competition advocacy means how exactly it creates the culture and it creates the culture of competition. And here the government has decided, see here, reducing barriers to trade. That is, there should not be any restrictions for the trading activity. You can enter, you can enjoy the domestic market, you can enjoy the global market. So that freedom will be given, that culture has been given, that you are free to do the trading activities without any barriers or without any restrictions. That is what it says. Trade liberalization is being given, promoting more and more competition. As I told, see here it has been given CCI's, Competition Commission of India's role in proactively bringing government policies for reducing the barriers to trade, trade liberalization and promote competition. See, always ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೇನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು. ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇರೋ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೋರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ GDP ವರೆಗೂ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So here for that we say the central government took initiative in order to give a healthy culture of trading activities in our country. That is what the fourth feature is all about. Okay. So with this, today's concept comes to an end, that we discussed in detail with the Competition Act, with the introduction part, with the nature and with the scope and the components of Competition Act. When it comes to the components, the four main components of Competition Act. See, sometimes only on this concept you can expect a question, right? Explain in brief the components of Competition Act. At that time, you need to explain all these four. That is anti-competition agreement, abuse of dominance, act on combination regulation, and competition advocacy. Okay. So in tomorrow's class, we will be discussing with competition appellate tribunal. With this, I'll be ending today's class. I hope you all are clear with the concept. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay home. Stay safe.